Yo, it's Hendrix time. Alright, so obviously Hendrix is one of the most influential guitar players ever, and I think sometimes as a beginner you might hear like the legends, you know, Eddie Van Halen, Hendrix, all these guys, and you might be like, oof, I can't learn any of their stuff, I'm just a beginner. But there's actually things that you can learn from Hendrix, from anyone really, that you will use from being a beginner. It's going to inspire you, and you're going to use this your whole way through. Like, I still use the stuff I learned from Hendrix every single day. So I've got a bunch of different examples here for you if you want to, just get your Hendrix on. No copyright stuff. All the copyright people who are probably like getting ready to like go, oh, we're on this video. Bruh, I ain't playing any Hendrix. Hendrix style. Also, later in the video, we will be saying who won this fine acoustasonic fiddle. So stay tuned for that too. You can get the tabs down below if you want to, and let's just go ahead and dive into example number 1. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys is a much scaled down version of something that Hendrix is doing. So Hendrix plays around chords a lot. And I'm not, claiming to be some kind of Hendrix aficionado, any of that stuff. I just have taken little bits and pieces from his style. Now, one thing that I think happens is that sometimes as a beginner you get confused and you think that every time a chord changes, you have to change with the chord. And you really don't. So what I wanted to do was, for one, we're going to work on using your thumb over the top of the neck. This is a huge Hendrix thing, and I use it constantly. But also, we're going to play the same thing over a chord progression, and we're not going to alter the actual lead line, because Hendrix is always doing this lead rhythm style of playing stuff, and we're going to go like this. Now you might be like, oh, that's so simple. Yes, that's what we want. We want simple. We want to grasp the concept. The most important thing you can take away from this video is the concept of what he's doing. Now, we are just staying in one area and playing different, bass notes along with our thumb, but I'm going to show you a little bit more of an advanced one that you can do here in a second. Now, first thing we got to know, though, is where are we getting these notes from? And we're using our E major pentatonic scale. So the 3 chords that we heard there were E major, we did B major, and we did A major, and we did it back to B. And I'm playing them in this very Hendrix style, with my thumb over the neck. You don't have to worry about playing the chords necessarily, but what I'm doing is I'm intertwining the major, E major pentatonic scale. So essentially, we're kind of playing over the key versus playing over the chord is the way that I look at it. So if you don't know your E major pentatonic scale, but you know your E minor, take your E minor pentatonic scale. So it would go 12-15 on the low E string, 12-14 on the A, 12-14 on the D, 12-14 on the G, 12-15 on the B, and 12-15 on the high E string. Everyone knows their minor pentatonic scale. So all you do is take your minor pentatonic scale, slide it back 3 frets to your C sharp or your 6th, and we're going to play the same exact pattern, but it's going to look like this. You're going to go 9-12, 9-11, 9-11, 9-11, 9-12, and then 9-12. That's your E major pentatonic scale. Now, it works a little bit differently, but overall, that's your scale. Versus, here are ones that real bluesy and one's the happy major sound. Now, one of the big things we got to conquer is this ability to do double stops. If you're not comfortable or familiar with double stops yet, you're about to have your life changed. This was one of the most inspiring things I ever learned on guitar. I got it all from Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. And what I'm doing here is this. So we're just starting with our open low E string, and I do this little phrase. Okay? Now, a double stop is look at it as like double the notes. You're playing 2 notes at the same time. Real common in country, But what we're doing here is this more Hendrix style of it. obviously, it's Hendrix video. We're going to go 9 on the B and the G, and you're going to hammer onto 11 on the G. Okay? So we have open low E string, and I go back to just 9 on the G and B. Okay? I do the same thing, but I move up a string. I'm going to go 9 on the G to 9 on the D, and then I'm going to hammer onto that 11, and back to 9 on the D and G by themselves. So... get to where you can do that. If you can get that one down, then you're pretty much golden, because now the next challenging part is we're adding these thumb notes in here. Now, if you have smaller hands and the thumb notes are just giving you trouble for now, you know, I recommend working on trying to find a workaround to get to where you can do it. But if you have to, just play the bass notes with your pointer finger. Okay? So I'm going to go to 7, which is our B note. So we're kind of pretending these single notes are chords. And then we do our lick. I go to 7. Okay? Same exact lick, but I changed the phrasing up. Here's where, you know, just changing the way that you play it almost makes it sound like it's different notes. So we had the first one. Okay? I just didn't do that one little ending part. I went. Okay? Now the next thing is I go to 5th fret on the low E string. Now I'm using my thumb. Or, if you want to hack, if you've got small hands, play an open A string. It's the same note. Then do the same thing that we did the first time. Sorry, I messed it up. Okay, so let's try all of those. So we did open low E string. Now if you want to, you open A string. Go back to your B. You notice that one that we changed, that one where we just kind of land on that 11 and hang out there, it's always on the B chord. So we have... Alright, so that was very much playing over the key. Now we're going to play over the chord just a smidge, just a tiny bit. Now remember how I told you that was our E minor pentatonic scale? Just move it back 3 frets and you have that same shape. We're actually going to play the major pentatonic of each chord. We're going to do the exact same lick that we did. So we have E and then... Now when I go to the B, okay, so if you played your B minor pentatonic, we'll slide it back 3 frets because we don't want minor, we're playing over a major chord here. Okay, so you're going to start that pentatonic scale on the 4th fret. Okay, we're going to do the same licks. So we're going to go... See, exact same thing, double stop style, all of it. We're going to go 4 on the B and the G, hammer onto 6. Okay, then I slide up 1 string, and I'm going to go 4 on the D and G, and I just hammer onto that 11. So we have... What was our next chord? A. So here's our A. A minor. Not today, A minor. Slide it back 3 frets. Starting on the 2nd fret, or our F sharp note. The pattern is exactly the same. We're just changing it around to fit the chord a little bit more. Okay, so we have that one then. Same lick, but you're going to be holding down 2 on the G and the B. Hammer that onto 4. Back to 2 in the G. Up a string. Okay, so let's kind of walk through that again. So go to the B. A. Notice how now we got a little bit more of a variation. Now, these are not exactly how I would do them. If I was implementing the scale and a little bit more chord tones, I would actually change. Oh, sorry. Go to the A. Back to B. That's stuff for another day. Focus on this. This is, like I said, it was so inspiring and it sounded like rhythm and lead, because when I was learning how to play guitar, I didn't have someone to play rhythm for me. I kind of had to do it myself, and that's when I started using my thumb as my rhythm and my fingers as my lead. So hopefully that was helpful. All right, guys, it is time to announce the winner. Again, a huge shout out has to go to Fender for even letting me give one of these guitars away. Thank you so much. I'll get in contact with the winner. We'll get your information and I'll pass it off to Fender. But the winner, without further ado, is Corey Engel. It's up on the screen. You can read it. I think I'm pronouncing your last name right. He said his favorite feature, it appears to be a better blend of acoustic and electric features than most acoustic electrics. It's a good point. It is, isn't it? You know, it kind of really is the best of both worlds. So there you go, man. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you all of you who entered the giveaway. And we're just going to bounce on out of here. And congratulations again to Corey. All right, later, guys. Alrighty, gang. That's going to be it. Short, simple, and sweet. To the point. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Other than that, I hope y'all have a fantastic day. If you would, subscribe, like the video. It actually helps out a lot if you guys could do that. And we're going to bounce it out of here. Snag the tabs if you're feeling like it. If you want more of these lessons, I'm in a real lesson mode right now. So hopefully you guys will dig all these lessons I'm doing. And if you're wondering why there was no big song with panning cameras and all that stuff in the intro, Gabby's sick. So let's all hope that Gabby gets better. If it was ever more apparent how crucial she is to making things look good around here, you know, we'll get to doing that stuff whenever she's feeling up to it again. But until then, hopefully you guys are just enjoying the video. So I'll see you all later. Bye, homies. Whoop!